Previously on Quartet, Jerome had to solve an apparent murder that turned out to be just a pregnant woman temporarily going to another world. However, when he came back to the mansion later, one of the aristocrats set up an elaborate maze as part of an inheritance-stealing scheme. Worse yet, it turned out Josiah discovered a fifth world, and Julia got possessed by one of the native monsters there. Alright, according to the guide, I can actually enter Mount Nibaros from any world. So what if I enter it from Alexandra's world? The one that has no magic for humans. Would they just force me to go to Nikolai's world? This is the place from the old guy's story. This is definitely the biggest mountain. I'm a little surprised the air isn't thinner. Do things change depending on which world we enter from? There's a wind spell, like the one we use around the airship. But this one's so big I can't even see the edges of it. I thought this was just gonna be a mountain. Where are all these buildings and stuff? Did someone really drag this stuff all the way up here? The truth is much stranger. The ancient witnesses report that originally this place was a tower stretching into the heavens. It was the crowning achievement of the Shinari Empire. The sources are unanimous, saying that the mountain fell upon the tower when the empire collapsed. But how or why this happened, we not know. We shouldn't stay in one place for too long. A bird? Spark, what? Got the first turn? Even with all my speed? Probably weak to earth or something. Tremor? Okay, it wasn't weak to earth, but that still did a lot of damage. Kamesu, 3000, weak to blunt. Resist pure / silence. Enchanted stone warden up for the ancient mountain. I don't have a lot of blunts. Tornado. Yeah, these guys are definitely pretty strong. What? Is that a Windstalker? It's that demon from Kronos' flashback. Ice Raven, 32k, weak to wind. Resists pretty much everything else. Keeper of the ancient Shinari's ritual capital. But why was it in Saren that one time? Counter Snowball. Speed down. Sirocco. I'm double buffed, so this should deal decent damage. This snowballs anyone who hits your weakness. A devastating attack. Well, not anymore. Divide? Wait, what? Attend, pilgrims. Is that Uralt's voice? The hell's that? Like something that is that is the voice of the mountain, or rather, the tower. Homage is due in equal measure to both the king and the queen. Divide yourselves equally, lest you incur their majestic wrath. One person of each element in each team, I guess. Anyone want to catch me up? The tower that originally stood here served as the Shinori ritual capital. Pilgrims from their subject domains were required to come and pay homage. The king and queen, as they styled themselves, were locked in a kind of smoldering conflict with one another, but they divided all honors equally. How do you know so much about this? There are lessons taught in every introductory history of magic class. Yeah, I've heard some of these stories too. The Shinori were the discoverers, or perhaps inventors, of magic. Many of the details are uncertain. We know the Shinori only by what other cultures wrote about them. Their own records were entirely wiped out. From the looks of things, it seems that the legends were true. Divide yourselves, pilgrims. Will be the best team. Hopefully not all of them. Who was the first character to go to the temple? Oh. You know, think of a good team. Maybe Cordelia, Ben, Agatha, and Nikolai. Cordelia, Ben, Agatha, Nikolai. Okay. Separate slot. See you on the other side. Wait, but what? Kronos' party only had 4 people. Does that mean they had to travel in pairs for this section? Weird. Terrace of Humbling. Or crystal. Shoot, we don't really have any good blunt types here. Well, that guy's fucking easy. There we go. Mark of Aratia. Goblin. Weak to physical attributes, huh? Terrace of Proskynesis. Elixir. Royal Roads. Well, that's a new one. Felix. Doesn't seem too strong. Elixir. What? A halfway point. Nice place they got here. This is a section of the Royal Roads. These served as shortcuts between different points in the Shinori Empire. Mages throughout the history have stumbled into this place, by accident, usually not more than once. We shall push forward regardless. Champion belt. What? There's something hidden inside. Okay. Oh. That just leads to a teleport point. But what about north? That's just a preview of where we might need to go. Okay, a fork in the road. Oh, wow. Wait, do these go to the same place? No, it's different. There are so many branching paths. Diadem. That's a dead end. Okay, and this one's the correct path. Bone mail. A save point. There must be a boss up ahead. Deathstroke. Critical health already. Can we just heal it off? Weak to pierce? Or slash, I guess? According to Dev, on hard mode, everything has a slight resistance to quintessence. So some bosses resist it entirely, like that Finos boss, because it's already made from quintessence. If you're weak to slash, an onslaught would do massive damage. Puncture. Okay, there we go. Speed Tome. Okay, I guess we wait for the other team. Here's hoping they didn't get lost. Can I actually go down their path? No. Wait. I see. We have to climb. Wait, what? Are these supposed to be Oslan soldiers? The heck happened to them? Anyone just gonna mention that? The Oslan soldiers kind of seem zombified. That's not a tree monster, what the heck? Counter cleave? 0 damage? Ha! Club. This thing has high defenses. Elixir, penumbral mail. What the? Oh no, it's this type of thing. Wait, how's the wind going through the pillar? I see, I just walk against the wind, it won't push me all the way down. At least for the continuous winds. Okay, just nuked them. If I go down these vines, I can just fight you. Crown of Moons. Up here. Max revive. See, ropes going down. Rabbit's foot. Some kind of stone guardian. Clairvoyance. Sundergolem. Create K. Weak to water and blunt. Resist a lot of stuff. Golem cobbled together from ancient war machines. So blunt, huh? It's not gonna be easy. $8,000, nice. Yeah, this team is too physical based. I actually picked the worst possible setup here, huh? Rust? Rock Smash. Yeah, I didn't do jack. This is a little better, but it didn't really do that many hits. Yeah, just spam overheat. That's my best magic option at the moment. Conductive armor? Oh, wow. Wait, that... So just... Oh. And your magic type options I have. Might as well buff my own defenses. I can turtle too. There we go. Mega Elixir. So now we're all united. The whole gang's back together. Anyone know what to expect next? What's that teleporter? Unfortunately, no. How old is all this stuff? It looks ancient, but also not that old. Yeah, we have to repair the flooring in our shop every couple of years. But this pavement is in pretty good shape. As far as we know, the Shinori disappeared just over 4,000 years ago. The people disappeared, but left their stuff intact. There's no such thing as a neat and tidy war. It was not a war, or at least not as we would understand it. The Shinori heartland was struck by some sort of prolonged magical disaster. The ancient witnesses refer to it as the Year of Storms and Darkness. When the disaster was over, the outlying nations sent scouting parties into the Empire's capital. They found only these ruins, infested by dangerous monsters. Not a single ethnic Shinori was anywhere to be seen. Magic ceased to exist, at least in humans, right? For a long time after that. Did they go to another world? Human magic wasn't rediscovered for almost 2,000 years. Maybe the most ancient spells were never recovered at all. Was that a bad thing or a good thing? Healing point and 2 teleports. Wait, what? Takes me back to the Divide here. What is about this one? Royal Roads. I see. And this part just takes me to the east side dungeon. Okay. You know, if I do, I'll convenience shortcut. What? A single switch? Does that mean someone has to stay outside? We never found a switch for the Duck Dog door. Reliquary. Better necklace. Mega elixir. Hairpin. Oh, I see. I need to flip 2 switches, huh? Shield ring. What does this one do? Oh, there was a second door. A big plant monster. Weak to fire. Harrowing approach. Does that mean he's close? Cloister. Oh, healing point. Wait, there's a door, but I never found a switch for it. The sorting must continue. Sorting? A puzzle? Uh-oh. Our sacred mission continues until their majesties return. What? Arbiter, Reaper, Giver. Silence? Oh no. Only some of my people are immune to that. Oh, you're weak to earth, huh? Smash. Ugh. Heals. Avalanche. No, double tremor. Okay. Well, that thing needs to be killed with physicals. Ow. Enervate. I need to take that out now. There. Weak to blunt, huh? Hey. Which might want to use Decrepify. Oh no, you have it too? Okay, good, it only does 1 hit. Ugh, that scared me. Cranium Strike. 41 AP, wow. Shock. Oh no. Bunch of tomes. Is that almost the final boss? Crest. Wait, this is the exact same path that we took as the sages. Does that mean that we're gonna get attacked on the way there? It's pretty long. There might be some troops. Oh, last save point? And I guess a convenient teleport. So you've come. Fate will soon make her choice. Don't do this. Osland can't win the war anymore. All you're doing is creating new enemies and putting our people in danger. You understand nothing. He who would live must fight. He who does not wish to fight in this world, where permanent struggle is the law of life, doesn't have the right to exist. In the crucible of history, one is either the hammer or the anvil. Also, it must be the hammer. Does this line of argument really suffice in your country? By now you must understand that other worlds are not like yours, and those worlds are thriving. You can say such a naive thing, but you think that I'm the fool? The wealth of your nation was large enough to tempt your neighbors, and yet you were completely unprepared to repel an invasion. Those who bear arms and wield magic must necessarily be the masters of those who lack them. This is a waste of time. He has to die. Ha, there it is, the vital spark. Whatever fate may decide today, remember this. Even after the world's divided, the nature of mankind remained the same as it ever was. The struggle for survival will forever be a conquest of the means of existence, and elimination of others who would claim your share. As long as there are peoples upon this world, they will fight, nation against nation, to protect their grasp on magic, and on the control of the future. Was he like this even before joining the other stages and fighting Corson? So let's begin. Engulf. Yeah, I made sure to actually beat the boss before, but this time I wanted to beat him while using the Fire Runes on everyone, even if it means compromising on certain builds. I feel like this is the more strategic and safe way to win, because this guy is actually on par with all the post-game bosses, or even stronger. Uralt resists a lot of stuff. The mage who twice sundered the world. Twice? But I thought he only did it once, and even then that was kind of a group effort. Okay. Yeah, problem is that I had to use some stuff to... Oh, man. Let's try Zephyr. Make up for my... some of my gear deficiencies. Charge. Please don't do anything too nasty. Immolate. 1,000 strength down. Yeah, good thing I have fire resist, huh? Decrepify. I don't want you to be strong at all. Heals again. We are still on fire. I should probably do something about that. Okay, now that I'm souped up, let's try Almighty. Even though he resists it, everything has like a slight resistance to this. I'm immune to silence. Ugh. That would have done like almost all my health if I did not have that Fire Rune. Fire Rune is basically mandatory. Don't need to use Decrepify yet. Yeah, right now I should just swap you off for someone else. You can have seconds. You keep us alive. So you already casted everything you needed to cast, so let's see, strategically I think I should swap to... Use Sep Iron Resolve so that we take even less damage. This guy is so fast, even though everyone here has eaten at least 2 speed tomes. This guy is incredibly fast. I think everyone needs to eat at least 3 speed tomes in order to truly make this a safer battle. Demi? That's gravity-based. No resisting that. No need to buff him yet. Use a Mega Ether, because it's the last battle in the game. You can have seconds. Please don't debuff me. Ha! Oh no, he's doing shit. Oh no, he's taking away my AP. Well, I'm still buffed. Unfortunately, she does not pull up the second one when he goes into second form like that. Very unfortunate. Zikaron, you need to debuff him immediately, or he will destroy us. Yeah, he's using a sword. That's kind of a hint that he was the Fire Sage, who I think also used a sword. Yeah. Give everyone Ether up. Dorgrot's Seal. Fire res down. Oh no, that essentially negates what I had going for me before. That's a kind of a sign that I need to like swap to other people. I'm just gonna use a Mega Elixir just to be safe. Don't want to swap people out, but gotta be safe about it. Okay. Hold on, can you remove... I think she could, actually. That removes the fire thing. Okay. Abyssal Touch. Oh no, my AP! And my stats. Okay. Artillery. Alright. How's Zikaron doing? Oh, you still have the fire debuff? Not cool. Flame how? Is that gonna cause a detonation effect? I don't think it will. Oh, she still has it. That's it. But I hit more than that. Oh shit. He's not debuffed. Pyroclasm, no! He's just spamming shit until I die! Even with my fire resist gear! That was my most offensive party member too. Anyways, I need to debuff you again. Abyssal Touch. My AP and stats all gone. Oh no. Oh good. That's manageable. I can handle that. Get buffed. Oh no! He's gone full power. Need to crepify now. I have judgment. That dealt exactly your health. Hell. Won't be able to do much with this other than flash round. Still a decent amount. Accuracy down, doubt will stick. Yeah, and even with fire resist, this guy's kind of kicking my ass. Not as bad as before, but still. You need to swap out for a while. Semi manageable. Fortify. Seconds. Shoot, he moved faster than my healer. Hand of Darkness. Nice dodge. That could have been bad. No, Zekron's not ready yet. That's unfortunate. I have a trick up my sleeve. I'm gonna make him dumb. That way, when he attacks, it won't be as strong. Supernova. That was percentage based. No, I can just use a Mega Elixir. Yeah, that's better. Flash round, unstable ether. Still got his debuff set up. Zekron, you nice swap out. Not looking great. Oh, who's getting judged? You. Exactly your health. Only hits twice. Not great, but whatever. You're just kind of my item thrower because of your sheer speed. Uh-oh. That's manageable. Now do some stacking. Healing Spring. Now we got souped up heavy artillery. Yeah. Wish I need Zekrom. I just noticed his stats are not properly debuffed. Oh hell, he's doing it to me too! Oh. Okay. MP. Oh, and what? A buff? Lot of stats up. Not good. Zekrom. Supernova? Yeah, I won't be able to... No, he'll keep that buff for now. Damn, that is such bad timing. I could always just have him do that and then... Like... No, actually I have an idea. Swap him out later, actually. A what now? Oh, that's really bad. Man, this guy won't recover fast enough. This guy won't recover his AP fast enough for what I want him to do. Pyroclasm. Man, they really have it out for him. You can actually do it twice, what? Okay. There, that was a good save, sort of. Do that. See Karan, the Crepify. Oh, he's doing it too, man. Will it still deal decent damage at least? Could be better. I'm gonna kill him anyways. So much for the tolerant Quartet! Yeah, he's not gonna get any last words, so you can consider that shitty meme the closest thing I'll ever get to a last word in my head canon. Is that really it? What happens now? Man, even with Fire Resist gear, that guy was really tough. Tougher than any of the optional bosses. Part of the elements is Garing. Should have just gone for one more round of speed tomes. Just like in the Sage's story. Perhaps get... Like, I feel like I would need to get everyone up to really high... use a lot of hit point tomes as well just to get everyone to survive some of that stuff. Can we do what Uralt did? What the four of them did back then? Even then, there were some unavoidable one-hit kills even if you were had the hit point cap. It's up to us to decide. What are we deciding? It's quite simple. We must put the world back the way it was, in the beginning. Why? Because it's the right and natural state of the world. The split brought about a cataclysm in most places, did it not? Almost all of history, all of mankind's journey toward enlightenment, in fact, took place in a unified world. Surely we want to return everyone to that state. Now, the problem is, even if we were to unite the world like that, Osland is still kind of heavily propagandized. Just killing off their big boss ain't gonna change them overnight. I think I have to agree. Anything would be better than the situation we have in Taiche right now. Yeah, if we did actually unite the world, wouldn't that make it easier for them to invade? Well, they already know how to travel to our world, so it might not matter. If putting the world back the way it was would stop that chaos, then we have to do it. But at what cost? What do you mean? The split between the worlds caused a famine, a war, and a series of natural disasters. Who knows what might happen when we reverse it? And also, what about Alexandra's world? We still haven't really solved the whole problem of Earth magic. Even after being the Earth Shrine. It's gotta be better than what's happening now, right? You know, also, uniting the world would kind of screw over Saren, because if they're the only world without magic, they're kind of screwed, aren't they? There would not be a balance between the world powers in that case. I mean, there's a war going on. If either side wins, it'll be a bloodbath. Millions will die. We need other countries there to prevent it. And I will help them where I am able. But I also swore an oath as a doctor to do no harm. And you have violated that oath countless times, including just a moment ago. That's not the same, and you know it. When someone takes up arms and steps onto a battlefield, they consent to whatever might happen next. Can we just hang on a sec? I'd be afraid to even plan a menu in your country because you're all so afraid of spices. But we're supposed to just decide how the world works. For everybody, I don't think so. A one-size-fits-all solution? We have to do something. We can't come all this way and take no action. Do we really have to do anything? I know humans suffered a lot from the world splitting, but plenty of other people did too. There were animals that lost their whole food source, flocks and herds that were split up, entire species of animals that died in horrible ways. If they were voting with us right now, things would be way different. So this is a vote. Very well then, since Zikaron probably lacks the capacity to contribute, what about all the personalities inside Zikaron? I feel like they deserve a say in this, right? Shouldn't Maimon have something to say about this? That philosopher? It comes down to you, dear girl. Look. It feels like we've been on this whole quest for a long time, but not that long ago, I was just trying to run a grocery store. And now that this is over, I'll probably just go right back there, and that'll be enough for me. What am I even trying to say? The dead guy, the Chancellor, I met him. I was alone with him, and I only know one thing for sure. He made his last speech for a reason, to make us think the way he wanted us to think. A politician, huh? That's what he did for a living. That's the kind of person he was. I think he wanted us to either keep the world split or join them back together. He would have been happy either way. Because either way, he would be the reason why the world changed, and everyone would remember him for it. This guy, behind all his talk, he had some rather selfish motives, huh? Sadly, those are the two options we are presented with. Really? If she's right about that bastard, and let me tell you, he sounds like most of the bastards I've ever met. Then why do we need to do what he wants? Let's stick it to him instead. Incredible insights as usual. Hang on, he's right. They train us for this in the army. The enemy wants to force you into their preferred course of action. But you don't have to take that bait. Coming up with a new strategy that the enemy doesn't expect. That's what you're supposed to do. Something a bit more down in the middle. I don't actually know what that would be, though. I have an idea. And your idea is... Reckoning, defeat Uralt. Strangely, I didn't get that achievement the first time I won. It's really weird. But this time I managed to get it. That's a little glitch. Like, maybe I'm not killing the right way? Maybe if you do a bad enough job, they don't let you? I don't know. Do all of his attacks actually count as fire? Because they did a lot of damage even with my fire resistance. Is it possible some of his stuff counts as quintessence? Yeah, it seems like they're just forming a multi-world UN. And Kuranos is still alive. I guess they have to use a Diacon somehow for their plan. Seriously though, what's gonna... Yeah, it seems like everyone's able to travel between worlds. That was like some act of tourism. But who's leading Oslan right now? Nikolai somehow? Like, even to expose Uralt's misdeeds and human experiments, would that really be enough to turn public opinion in our favor? Well, at least we did finally get to see the herd, even if we don't get to talk to them. This game was kind of minimalistic on dialogue in a lot of ways. Kind of like the opposite approach of Absent Age, where the story starts out lighter, but then you get more and more plot, more and more dialogue, until the protagonist actually gets a voice. And as for Uralt, yeah, he really didn't get any last words, or even any explanation about how he turned out like this, or if he was always like this. I suspect he was actually always like this. He kind of... yeah, since we know that Yina were persecuted even before he came along, it's most likely he was a product of his own time. Even if he hadn't shown up, chances are someone else might have come up with the same ideology. Or maybe he was already following in someone else's footsteps. He's more of a symptom than a cause, it feels like. Which begs the question of how we're gonna fix Oslin. Like, these guys are so propagandized, they're like the US. Allowing anyone to go between any world, just like with the airship, huh? What if people try to abuse that technology in order to, like, do sneak attacks and such? I wonder if I wonder if they're basically keeping the world separate while making it easier to travel between them. So it's basically like uniting the worlds, but without the potential disaster that could follow. Seems to be the Leskians. Are we making peace with them too? Yeah, seems like Nikolai has obtained some degree of political power if he's leading these talks. Is he gonna be the next Chancellor or Emperor or something? As for Uralt, I really think Uralt, there should, if you're gonna make any additional post-release content, you should make something that actually explains his backstory more. Explain how he came to these beliefs, how he went from the heroic fire sage to wherever he is now, or if he was always hiding a darker side from his sage comrades. And speaking of sages, Ladernier and Highland Reed also kind of got the short end of the stick with characterization. Yeah, we only see Reed, like, sacrifice herself once. And then, like, Dernier apparently killed himself after he realized the consequences of removing magic. Yeah, we don't really get much more out of those two. Yeah, honestly, I think that would be a more compelling bit of post-game, post-release content, an Uralt dedicated side quest than something like sheep stacking, which really only just fall up on a very small plot point that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. That one farmer guy who has all those sheep. I feel like that would be a better use of development time. Come up with a way to better explain Uralt's character, since he's the final boss and main villain. A lot of games do this. The final boss and main villain they kind of just forget about until the very end of the game. Absent Age 2 does this to some extent, but they did at least give you a bunch of flashbacks and give her plenty of characterization after the final boss fight, and even during the post-game. But here, we just really get very low on Uralt, and I feel like we need an Uralt-centered side quest. Maybe even let us, like, play as him in a flashback for a bit, where he does his own solo segment like Kuranos did. Yeah, how did he come to this kind of ideology? Was it maybe he lost people during the conflicts with Leskia? Maybe the previous chancellor was also like this, and he simply inspired him. As for game's balance, yeah, hard mode does feel like it expects you to spam a ton of tomes like I did. It's probably why the game added so many money farming accessories towards the end. They knew the player might need it for some of the endgame challenges, especially on hard mode. Those enemies are fast, even with 2 speed tomes on everyone. If I add a 3rd speed tome on everyone, I wonder if that would give me the edge I need in order to gain an absolute advantage against Uralt. He'd still one-shot me every now and then, but I'd be able to get turns way more often than him. You know, I feel like right now he makes even the dinosaurs look slow in comparison. Yeah, I'm sure someone out there is dedicated enough to just keep maxing out speed and hit points so that everyone is basically an unkillable god. Maybe even max out magic so that even people who are novices at magic like Nikolai could just deal massive damage, just deal damage cap with their weakest spell. Yeah, maybe some people are dedicated enough to do that, but not me. And then the dev will have to make like a new hard mode just for that, a stat cap balanced hard mode where everyone, including the enemy, is at the stat cap. Everyone just throwing out nukes at each other. I'm not sure that would be winnable. You know, there are a lot of trade-offs with the equipment. A lot of early in the first party endgame, I was mainly using AP regen gear, but those pieces of gear get power crept in terms of stats really easily. So, and you might want to go for other special effects as well, like resisting fire. So you end up having to sacrifice your AP regen, which can make it difficult to keep up with AP costs. Really should have swapped out people more proactively. As for the balance between the characters themselves, it does feel like the strongest characters are Nikolai for physical and Cordelia for magic. I guess that makes sense because one is a soldier and one is a highly trained mage at an academy. Yeah, it does feel like everyone else's job is to just support them with items and various buffs, huh? Yeah, Ben, at first it seems like he's gonna be the next big lightning mage, but in the endgame he was mainly just spamming his second skill in order to give stronger characters double turns. I feel like that was the more efficient use of his turn, since his zap is not really that damaging compared to what the 2 strongest characters can accomplish. And also there's hit point growth. Yeah, hit point growth between the physically strong characters and the physically weaker characters is pretty big even for most JRPGs. Hence why you probably want to save up for hit point tomes so you can either spread out evenly among everyone or just focus them into the squishier characters. Yeah, if I didn't spam those tomes, they would not have much higher. They would not be that much higher than 1,000 hit points. That is absolutely pathetic against most of the optional bosses who could just one-shot you, and the final boss who will one-shot you even if you do use a ton of tomes. Now, it does feel like hard mode is easier towards the end when you have a ton of resources and a ton of different ways to grind. But in the beginning of the game, hard mode is like barely doable because sometimes, in a lot of cases, you only have a limited amount of encounters and money to work with. Yeah, that does happen a lot. A lot of times the endgame will be easier, even if the final boss is one-shotting you, because you have the resources to deal with that. But you don't have the resources to deal with enemies spamming silence at the start of the game. Like in Cordelia's chapter. So hard mode is doable from start to finish. I never actually lowered it. So I guess it is barely balanced enough for the beginning. But I feel like if you're new to RPGs, you should probably stick to normal in the beginning, and towards the end go up to hard once if you think you're too strong with all your endgame resources. This is a very long credits. I think last time I went for this credits, my controller actually turned off because it's wireless and therefore set to turn off after a certain amount of inactivity. I wonder if I should just go back to wired. Sure, it can be kind of difficult with my cable management, but not having to worry about it turning off is also kind of a plus. Though, I'm having a lot of trouble trying to manage my USBs. Like, if I put in too many USB devices, I'll run out of USB resources, and then one of my USB devices will basically get disconnected. That happened back then with the SCUF controller. I wonder if a different controller would work better. Hell no. Maybe I need to distribute them better, or maybe even use a PCIe card that has USB slots on it. I didn't think of a good solution to this. Because I have too many things plugged in. You know, right now it seems... right now I do have a wireless dongle plugged into the very top of my case, so that probably uses up when... spreads out the USB load enough so that it's not all concentrated in one spot. Not all concentrated in one hub. Has to be a better solution. Somehow I never had this problem with my last computer, which is really weird. Yeah, is this an issue with modern motherboards? They just expect people to use fewer USB devices for some reason? That seems kind of backwards. They should be accounting for more USB devices, not fewer. Yep, my controller turned off. I'm going to turn it back on. This might happen during trails, if depending on how long your credits is, or if the cutscenes are auto-scrolling. Yeah, I'm expecting a very long video for by the time I get to Trails in the Sky first chapter's ending. After this, I'll probably I think I should start playing Sacred Earth Reverie. I'm gonna play from the beginning. I know there are new characters added, so there's probably no way my old save would work. And if it did work, I'm not gonna risk it. And I do want to see conversations from those newer characters. Plus, maybe there are balance changes that completely change how the meta works, and I may have to adjust my strategies to beat enemies I've easily dealt with before. Maybe maybe the devs found a way to prevent you from grinding too hard too. Yeah, remember that one actually, unlike most other Sacred Earth games, that one actually lets you grind. Kind of like Sacred Earth Bonds. As for the endgame side quests, yeah, not all of them were created equal. Some actually do include quite a bit of story, while others seem kind of short or not super relevant to the overall conflict. Let's see, Cordelia's was going back to that one western town, but I feel like hers would have been better for confronting the corruption in her country's government. Because that corruption not only got her blacklisted, but also caused... it actually enabled Oslin. Yeah, like, was anyone even held accountable for that whole mess? That famine mess? Man. Like, this is the stuff that starts French revolutions. And also, we didn't really get any follow-up for Ben's childhood friend Cassandra. She just kind of lost her memories, and we just said, okay, that's it. Like, that's such an anticlimactic way to end his story. Yeah. This definitely does not feel as satisfying as most of the Octopath storylines. Yeah, the ending where Oslin seemingly reforms. How reformed is Oslin? I feel like reforming Oslin should be really difficult. Like, we didn't really see any political movements against Uralt within Oslin itself. Like, if there was some kind of anti-Uralt movement, I could kind of believe that they might be able to use the recent events to their advantage and really gain more clout and eventually seize power. But we never really got to... we never found anyone else willing to oppose Uralt other than that one guy in Nikolai's unit at the start of the game. Alexandra? What's up? We sold all the fillets in the coolers. Wow, really wow. We could never move that much meat when you were gone. Anytime you see a mother come in here with a worried look, it's because she doesn't know what she's making for dinner. Recognize your customers' needs, huh? Then you just slip in a recipe recommendation, and suddenly the whole neighborhood is having cassoulet, because the store had a good deal on duck legs. Why is saving the world less complicated than running a shop? Are we gonna get a shop sim spin-off? Anyway, can you check the fridge? I think we have a case of beef left. Yeah. I hope none of the food from the start of the game gave anyone food poisoning. No, honey, they're a fridge. Oh, sure. Yeah, anyone can just casually teleport. But wait, what about Alexandra's world? Did everyone get their magic back, or is she the only one who's allowed to do that? Oh, there they are. Is this still cold enough to keep the meat fresh? Yeah, it's pretty much cold all year round over there. I think the only problem would be if the bears find a way in. Bears. You want to sell bear meat? Oh, these are mostly bavettes. Let's put the shallots and oranges on sale too. That'll make someone a nice dinner. What is it? Is something wrong? At least we got follow-up for Marie. No, Mom. Everything's perfect. Does that mean Alexandra was the real main character all along? She was kind of the tiebreaker. The end. You want to save, yes. Only 1 minute passed? Yeah. I guess this is so it doesn't use up all... In case you try to use up all your Mega Elixirs in that fight, continuing to save would still let you have all your resources back. Yeah. None of my Mega Ethers got used up here, even though I know I spammed them like hell during that battle. Yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much it for Quartet. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and maybe try the game for yourself.